hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough to be doing it to. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm back with another patron-sponsored post. Let me just turn the fan down. It's a bit hot and humid in here because this is actually the third time I've done this audio. I haven't been happy with the first two runs of it. It's been a little bit... Well, I talk a lot. I get carried away and I end up talking about stuff that's not actually in the video. Anyway, this is a patron-sponsored post. And you should all not knock the patrons because they actually keep the lights on around here. They keep the videos pouring out, which all you people seem to enjoy watching. God knows why, because I just rabbit on. And they're also running a competition for you. They're running a competition. On the 3rd of April, we're going to kick the comp off. But the patrons have sponsored a comp. They're putting the money up for it. There's going to be weekly prizes. I'm going to run a stream on the 3rd of April where if you shoot Bushka, you go in the draw for it on the NA. I'll be running my World of Tanks contributor account there with WOTB underscore Bushka in it. Snake Eyes is going to be on Asia. Martin Dogger is going to be the rabbit on Europe. And then at the end of it all, you go in the draw for a weekly prize if you kill Bushka. And if you... one of those weekly prize winners, you go in the draw for a T-34-85 victory. I'm not 100% the final details on it, but we'll get to it. This video itself is about how to survive on the front line. And there's a whole different thing. And this is one of the reasons why I've redone this audio so many times. Do you know how much goes into this? I realized early on in this video process where I kept pulling these games out, and so much of it is, it's like if you've ever played a sport like rugby or football or basketball, so much of it becomes just automatic, where you do things because they've worked for you in the past and your body or your mind has remembered, and so it does that again. Or you don't do things because you've been blown up in the past. So I just want to preface everything that I say here by pointing out that there is no greater teacher than experience. And making mistakes is the best way you can learn. And you learn that mistake, you get smashed once, twice, 3, 4 times, however long it takes you to figure out why you're getting belted. That will be the key factor that the light bulb will go off and you'll realize something, and then you'll be a better player for it. That's how we all learn. That's great. But you can accelerate that process. And I'm all about getting faster. I like this. Speedy Gonzalez. And there's other ways to win than just blowing people up, like you saw there. I basically spotted for my entire team, held a line, kept them lit up, and got all the spotting medals and everything, and did 1,700, but did 2,200 spotted damage, spotted 6 of them. That's T-54 Mod 1. I also want to point out that there's no guarantees. This video is not about guaranteeing you a win. I really don't like it when people say, oh, I got this tank and it's not as good as you say it is, because, yeah, I mean, this is me in the comment, right? I've got auto aim on and then auto aim off when I'm zoomed in. There's a bunch of tanks in front of me. Some of them are big tanks, some of them aren't. I'm going to do decent damage here. The rest of the team kind of all gets blown the hell up. And I've got a lot of experience driving the Comet. I'm very, very good at getting shots off in it. I'm fighting against some very fast firing tanks there in the Frenchie. He can really fire out. I'm maximizing my armor. I'm getting shots off. I'm still going to get blown up here. We are losing this, right? There is no way around it. I'm doing my best to put damage in. I just run out of humans. There's no shame in that. There's no guarantees. All you're really doing, and even the very best players in the game, you know, your Perfect Minds, your Scumbag Jews, your whoever's, they're not winning all the games they play. You are not able all the time to win. If someone is absolutely desperate to YOLO on me, and believe me, this is me playing on the NA server, there are people who will just YOLO. You can't always stop them. If they're willing to take the damage to get to you, they can get to you. And that's quite often all there is to it. You can use that to your advantage, in fact. You're going to see a game later on where, a couple of games where I'm in the IS-8 particularly, where I become a bit of a honeypot and a bunch of tanks go for me and just get wrecked. I mean, we win this game going away because we got YOLO'd at hard by, surprise, surprise, the Dracula platoon, the MT-25 and the LTTB from the other team. And they got hammered for it. But what can you do to maximize things? Well, I know I carry on about this, but for God's sakes, learn to read the minimap. I want to point something out to you here. I'm going to push up on the flank. There is a T-54 up above me. Watch how I get to put shots on the T-54. I know that there is a 183 spotted at the back. There's all kinds of nasty spotted at the back. I'm letting them come forward. If they don't come forward, then I'm going to consider moving forward myself and putting a shot in. I'm going to do it by hugging the cliff face or the hill so that they cannot actually get shots across, and then I'm going to go down behind the dead carcass of the Yag Tiger, and I'm going to push up to that, get my shots in, and guess what I'm going to do now? I am going to bugger off, reset camo, and stay alive. That's experience telling me that it is not always worth just charging in and getting the shot, because what is the... And there he is. Hey, look, that's a 183. Guess how many shots he's got at me right now? Zip. Absolutely none. There is going to be a conk push up here on our right. A 215B, sorry, not a conqueror. A 215B. I am going to come out. I could get the kill shot on him because I'm coming from stealth, but it would mean that I would risk putting my very, very soft French tank in front of a massive big Death Star. So I take one shot and pull back, even though it's only a 2-second reload. And I get safe again. Because why risk it? How many times have you been in a game where you've got an overwhelming advantage and your team does stupid things to get kill shots and pays the price for it, and the next thing you know, you've gone and died? I'm going to tell you a little story here. And it's kind of like the old saying, don't borrow trouble. Don't meet trouble halfway. Because people who put themselves in stupid situations get stupid results. Snake and I were on the old Falls Creek, and there was an IS-3 left on their platoon, the enemy platoon. We didn't know it at the time, but he was a very good player. He had 600 hit points left, and we had 6 tanks. None of us had bothered to look at anyone else's hit points. Guess how many hit points we had between all 6 tanks? Probably about 2,000. I was a one-shot. Snake was a one-shot. Everyone else was a one-shot. I rolled in there to get the kill shot. Put one into him and died. Snake did the same thing. The next guy did the same thing. The next guy did the same thing. And your 2 Unicum platoons who only had to kill 1 IS-3, and we were in Tier 9 T-54 M46 Patton platoon, lost to a 6-tank Kolobanov. And at first we were furious because we thought it was their fault, but we thought about it and we realised, no, we were pretty much idiots. And they're the kinds of things that teach you. You need to learn from those. But quick tips that you can actually use. If you're in a non-turreted TD, you have to learn how to do this. This is angling all the time. Angling to and from shots, okay? I'm going to get a shot in on the VK31P. It's irrelevant whether these go in or not. This isn't about damage this game. You're going to see how I move as soon as I shoot. And then I'm pushing up into the wall, and I'm going to get hit by one of these, and I'm going to bounce the other one because my angle's really good, and that IS-2 can't get a shot, and I'm bouncing and angling again. You have to be able to do that in non-turreted TDs, even if you have crap armor. Moving your tank around will give you possible auto-bounce zones. The other thing is, don't fall in love with a target. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to go forward and get killed by it. Now back to the tough stuff. That was something I just thought I'd throw in because I know a lot of people whinge about non-turreted TDs and not being able to do it, and they don't do that basic thing. Some people call it posting off targets, others call it other things, whatever. Sometimes you're going to get in situations where you can't count the minimap. It doesn't help you because they're just going to push on you, and you're in what can best be termed a brawl, okay? You're just in a barroom brawl. There's a Bushka who's going to come out sideways here and does not get punished for it at all. Okay, like, unbelievable. Look at that. I think there's nothing there because he's not been deleted. Yet there is an IS-8 who hits me and doesn't touch the Bushka. Hats off, Australia. So I've taken one shot, but had a couple of shots going, which is all well and good. You have to be able to prioritise targets, and you have to take what's on offer. I always use sporting analogies, and it's really true. If you were a basketballer and you were playing offense and you wanted to hit that IS-8 because that's the shot you really like, but it's not on offer. And to go get that shot, you're going to have to get wrecked to do it. Take what the defense gives you. And right now, the defense is giving me a Tiger 2, who has just about 1,200 hit points, which coincidentally is the amount of hit points I can clip if I'm lucky and get a nice roll. And I do. So I full clip him rather than driving over the top of the hill and getting hammered by an IS-8. But now we have another problem. There's a whole heap of tanks pushed up behind us, and we've got to move down. IS-8's gone, E75's there, and the AMX 5100, who is a one-shot, is there. What I'm going to do here, again, is select and take what is on offer. I can afford to get hit by the E100, E75, so long as I can get my reload in, and then I'm going to try and isolate one tank at a time, which is what I do. I push around here, get the kill on him, and then just kind of loiter here, because there's the KV4 pushing up on my left at the back into our IS-6. The E75 is in front of me. I've got just enough hit points. And I'm going to do something else here, which you might have seen me do in the video at the start of the game with the T54 Mod 1, where I basically kept things spotted and let the rest of the team finish them off. Look where my team is. They are all around here. They are all over the place. I'm going to go and hit point trade here. One shot for two shots. Leave the E75 a lot lower on his hit points. There's an E50 over there. We've got two TDs still in the game. The KV4s I'm going to push past the KV4 and just let the E75 come around the corner and basically get deleted and drawn into the rest of the team. And look, E50 finishes him, just smacks him. So you've got to keep your head on a swivel. You have to be able to adjust to situations, and you've got to be able to use your hit point pool. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, a lot of these games you can see I'll trade hit points on occasion, but I don't really tend to trade hit points for no reason. It's not like I just walk up and get smashed and then put one in and then walk out and get smashed and put one in every time. I really don't. And that's something you learn early on. Like, this STB one is desperate for shots. I'm just going to line up so that if he comes up again, I can get a shot on him as he looks for shots downrange. Here we go. He's going to have to move up. It's not on. Don't push it. Just wait. Just wait. Be patient. Just wait. You can't really win the game in the first 30 seconds, but you can certainly lose it. And then we're going to drop back. And don't keep going back to the same place every time. If you know that they are targeting it, don't keep going back. You know how you watch the minimap? The other thing you need to watch is shots. Watch how many times I go for a tank after it's fired. The 4502B there has fired. I got a shot into him. He's not looking. He's not looking at me. I take another shot at him. I'm not going to give him an opportunity to get one back. This is all kind of a lead into what I'm about to do next. Now, you'll see there is a Leopard 1 on my team who is a very good player. He plays in the clan Oxo. And I know that because I looked at the map before the game started and had a crack at him. Not had a crack at him, had a look at what he was driving and thought, well, happy days. If we can keep him alive, we'll be doing very well. The enemy team is going to push up here. They basically just want to get shots into the Oxo dude, hit point trade, and kill him, which is as it should be, because the Leopard has not got a lot of hit points. What I'm going to do is actually give up my hit point so that the Leopard can just wreck. Watch this. I'm going to pull back. I am sideways in front of an IS-7, and I stop so the Leopard can actually use me hull down. The IS-7's got no target. He can hit me. I don't care. I'm happy with that. Watch the Leo. He's using me hull down. There we go. And he knows exactly what was going on there because he says affirmative as well. Be mindful of that, okay? Be mindful of what your teammates, like, keep your head on a swivel. If you've got all the hit points and there are a bunch of low hit point teammates, it might be time for you to step into the breach and actually take a few shots so that your team can then come around the corner and just polish a tank off. And that's good hit point trading. There is good hit point trading in the game. You've seen me do it here a couple of times. I mean, I took one from that E75 and I gave him 800 back and then ran away, and he had no choice of you. Look at that. You got 5k out that Leo. 5,000 damage. I did 3.5. That's 8.5 between the two of us. Now, I played really poorly here at the start. I want to get to that spot up top because they've only got a T54 and I want to pressure it, but the Reds have pushed up really quickly and I think I'll get an on-the-shot move on the grill. Awesome, 500 of HE, oh bugger. Got tracked, moving across. Then I make the error of thinking the grill can't get a shot into me. I'm going to go hull down here and just sneak out, and the grill's already penned me. Oh god, 139 hit points left. I'm screwed. Adamant does a great job here. He's using his gun depression. Look at them all want to get the kill shot on me. This 54 is desperate for it. Like, he's just put one in there. He doesn't have the gun depression to do it. So what I'm doing is really, really screwing with him, moving backwards and forwards on a very much a parallel line to where he is. And you can see on my right-hand side, he can't get the gun down far enough to get the easy shot. The grill is sitting there waiting, has been dying to get the kill shot on me. And the Adamant just keeps pushing around and will not stop pumping that 54. And there he gets him, googly. And the grill is still there, still trying to get that kill shot. And he's left himself in a terrible position for it. And, I mean, I get another shot into him. This is absolutely glorious. They've lost their nanas trying to get the kill shot on me, just desperately pushing forward for it. And the rest of my team has punished them for it. They really have. That STB1 did a really good job being aggressive. He might have taken the hit point trade, but he pushed that 183 and the T54 back just enough so that in a very, very short while, that 54 was gone and the 183 was gone as well. And then I come over here and just basically bugger around because we've got it won. This is just bad play on my part. I wait till the E75 shoots, hit him, pull that. So what can you take out of all of this? Well, you need to be able to be imaginative. If you want to be good in these up close and personal situations, you have to have some imagination. And if I could suggest one thing, it's get out of the tunnel. You'll tunnel. When you start playing the game, you tunnel. You see a target and you focus that target. And you've got to get out of that mindset. You've got to get into the mindset of what's the best option here for me and the team? What's the best option for me to win this game? And they won't all be winnable. They just won't. I mean, they're not all going to be winnable at all. But sometimes your best option is taking damage. Other times your best option is being unspotted. And you can do all these things within spitting distance of the enemy and be successful with it. You can, the 54 mod 1 game, I was right up close and personal, spotting targets, keeping them lit. The 215B game, I was very cautious and I put my shots in and they worked, but I didn't take any damage back and there was no need to. I didn't expose myself. The AMX 50 B game against the E75, I mean AMX 5120 game, you saw I was constantly working around, oh, this is the secret spot. For those of you who don't know about this, in certain tanks, you can do a little bit of rock climbing back here, and in certain situations, that's a good idea. This is caveat emptor, buyer beware. If you are not running a camo net and binoculars, this may not be the perfect spot for you. It may be a space that, in fact, is terrible, but I use it sometimes in the right kind of tank. There you go. You can fire up to 250 meters in the grill with the binoculars and the camo net enabled, running your double rations and all that, and you probably are not going to be spotted over there by anyone around in the cap circle, etc., etc. Back to how to survive up the front. Hit points are a tool. Use them accordingly. And having more hit points is always better than having less. But if you do have less, you can also be the honey trap. You can be the bait. You can make people make bad decisions. You can drag them or kite them to targets. I call it kiting. It's something you do in RPGs where you drag someone who's attacking you away and you put damage into them as you run, or you get other people to put damage in them as they chase you. And these are all things that you can physically do. It's just a massive learning experience, and it's something that you really need to understand. You saw, for instance, that Leopard 1 just there. I didn't put a shot into him because he was too close, and if I had to put the shot into him, I would have been spotted. I just waited, and then I'll get that extra shot into the grille before I'm spotted, and then I'll bugger off. I hope that helped. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Look after your families and stay safe on the battlefield.